Hey everyone, so I'm sure you're well aware I put out a tutorial video probably a few months back now about mouse and keyboard settings for the simulator mode and kind of how to get started with that. Something I neglected to include in there is graphical settings. And for those that have been in the streams, you've probably seen, every single stream somebody asks, at least one person, what graphical settings do I use that allows me to spot enemies relatively easily, or easier in Sim at least. Sim is different from ground RB, where you can turn down the foliage, the grass and tree render distance, and all this stuff to give you like a pretty substantial advantage over your enemies, depending on what graphical settings they're using as well. You could essentially see through stuff that they have rendered in and you don't. So Sim's a little unique in that way. It doesn't have a lot you can do, but there are two specific settings in the graphics that can help you spot targets, specifically against the skybox. When you close the distance and they either go low or get below you, there's really nothing you can do. It's just you gotta rely entirely on your own vision and your own eyes and your display. Really, the only thing that can give you advantage is medium to long range spotting, and specifically when they're against the skybox. So I'll jump into test flight real quick and I'll show you guys what that is. Okay, so first things first, options, right? Graphics. First things that we're going to look at is image sharpening. Okay, so settings in PostFX. I've got my target right here in the dead center. You'll notice that he's kind of grayish. He's not really a black dot, more of a gray dot. I recommend you turn cockpit sharpness all the way up. This is the first of the two settings. You'll notice that the cockpit kind of looks a little grainy when you do that. The edges and everything on the MFDs and the outer lines and all these edges get very grainy. The setting is not going to make your game necessarily look better. That's not the point here. The point is to make images in the background at distance pop. So if I kind of move this back and forth, you'll notice if you look at that dot, he's a little grayer and blends in a little bit more. And if I turn this all the way up, it's a little more black, a little more pops against the skybox. So that's setting number one. Setting number two is going to be anti-aliasing. You can either turn it off, FXAA low quality or high quality. This does kind of a similar thing, a lot of image sharpening. If you use these, it's going to soften those edges similar to the cockpit sharpening like I was just showing you. Again, FXAA high quality, low quality, or off. I usually just run it FXAA high quality. So that's really all you can do as far as just straight up settings that allow targets at medium to long distances pop better on the skybox. Now I'm going to go over dynamic LUT really quick. There's a lot of people that prefer the PostFX settings changes, and some people say that, oh, it helps spot targets, it helps spot things in the distance. This is kind of a placebo in my opinion. I don't really recommend you mess with a lot of this stuff. I mean, this is just kind of personal preference, right? Like, do you like a high saturation image? Do you like a low saturation image? Do you like dynamic LUT where everything looks a little more realistic and gray? This really just comes down to personal preference. A lot of people recommend you use Reinhard. I personally think this looks bad. It's just too saturated. It's too, I guess, anime-ish to me. I don't know. It's too saturated. I just run dynamic LUT. I like everything to be a little more gray, a little more realistic in my opinion. This really isn't going to give you that much, if any, advantage at all. Again, really the only thing that you can do here is help with your image sharpening, and that's what's going to help targets pop on the background. So that's really all I got for this. It's pretty short and sweet. I hope this helps. Really quick before I end the video, I do want to go over one thing. And we hit 1,000 subs last week, which is incredible, and that's huge. And I really appreciate everybody, really, that's been interacting and really just hanging out in the streams, playing together. It's been so much fun. And I was talking about before an event that I'm going to be hosting for the 1,000 subs. It's a 1,000 sub event special, and what that's going to entail is going to be a It's going to be 2v2s, dogfights, or not dogfights, but just engagements. Right? We're not going to be using Fox 3s. We're going to be using the playing platforms that are used in the esports events, so like the Mirage 2000, like Gripen A, F-15A, F-15C, stuff like that. You know, nothing with Fox 3s. And it's going to be a tournament style. You're going to be paired up with somebody at random, and the way you sign up for that is going to be in the Discord. Okay, I'm going to be setting that up hopefully in the next couple of days. We'll get a time and date for it. And we're gonna get that planned. So the way you get signed up for that is in the Discord. The winning team, each member of the team, so 2 people, right, are gonna get a $25 gift card to whatever platform they play on. Steam, PC, I guess the launcher, I don't know, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. So it'll be total $50 in rewards, split in the middle between the 2 winners. So yeah. That's how you sign up for that in the Discord. Link to that in the description. Check it out. But yeah, that's all I got for this. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys later. Peace.